right, thanks, Anna. Thank you, everybody. Good morning, and appreciate your time here this morning. It's a little unusual for me to present during market hours, so I'm going to actually be able to show some data and some trades I'm in right now. I am trading all the time. I'm predominantly a futures trader, just to give you a little background. So I normally don't do presentations during the trading session, so this should be kind of exciting. I've turned off almost everything that I possibly can turn up so I can give everyone my time and attention here this morning. So what I'm going to do is talk about something that I call money points, and I'm calling it a semi-automated framework to clearly identify turns and trends to trade price rotation. I want to keep this really simple. Trading is simple. It's not necessarily easy, but what I hope you get out of today is I'm going to give you two very simple indicators that I use that can actually be turned into a trading framework. And I'm hoping at the end of my 30 minutes or so today, you actually have a few things that you can apply to your trading immediately. Doesn't matter what time frames you trade or what you trade. These are going to be universal things that you can apply. So we call it a framework, and I call it semi-automated because, as you'll see, what I've done since I'm getting a little older and I can't stare at the charts anymore and I can't necessarily look at all kinds of indicators above and below price, I've just simplified it so that it provides signals right on my charts, and you'll see that today as well. Before I get started, I want to remind everybody that this presentation is for educational purposes. Nothing that I'm going to say or show is in any means a solicitation to buy or sell any security. Trading does, of course, involve risk. And since I'm predominantly a futures and derivatives trader, I wanted to remind everybody of CFTC Rule 4.41. You can pause it right here and just take a look at that if you're watching the recording. But essentially, you know, trading can be risky, especially derivatives trading, and you want to be aware of those risks. Okay, the agenda today, what I'd like to talk about is why I hope I can make a compelling case that you need some form of automation. And when I mean automation, I don't mean you need to have a fully automated system that you turn on and watch, or you need to be a programmer, or you should be looking at buying trading systems that you run on your platform from anybody else. I don't want to be derogatory about any of that, but I just don't think that that buying something that you don't understand the logic behind is not necessarily something that works out for most people. But you do need some form of automation, something that actually helps you out and gives you a little bit of an edge, and we'll talk about that today. I'm also going to teach how to use a few indicators that can produce these high probability trading signals. And I'm going to give you dozens of examples from today's live market. In fact, I want to make sure I can get to the questions. Let me just make sure I open this up over here. Yeah, okay. I don't know if I'll be able to actually see them in real time, but when we get to the charts, I'd be happy if you just want to throw out any kind of symbol. We can take a look at it, see how it applies to what we're talking about today. And then I'm going to just make a simple, compelling offer to try out TDG, but I'm a trader first and foremost. I don't do a whole lot of sales and marketing of any kind. I don't have anybody with me here today to go through any of that, so I'm just going to make that as simple as possible. Everything that I do is pretty much pretty simple there. What's not on the agenda today is any kind of secrets or picks or research or anything hidden or mysterious. I'm not a big fan of talking about making X amount of dollars per day using anything that I do, or suggest that anyone else should actually look at their trading, even if you want to be an active intraday trader or make trading a larger percentage of your income, even your full-time income. Professional traders don't talk about making X amount per day. So we just don't do that. There's nothing wrong with it if you want to sort of target those things. If anything, you want to talk about max amount of money that you could potentially lose on any given day. But so we're not going to discuss any of that. I'm not going to suggest that trading is easy. In fact, this presentation is probably more suited for folks that have been kind of bitten by the bug and have a general interest in improving and honing their skills of trading. So trading is certainly not easy. There's nothing easy about it. And I also don't want to claim that anything that I do has never been shared before. So basically, it's a kind of a no BS zone is the way I kind of look at it. So the workshop is definitely for you, what we're going to be talking about today. If you've been kind of bitten by that market bug, now I would assume, you know, there's several hundred people here. If you're here in the middle of the day, you already probably have an interest in the markets. But ultimately, I think from a trading perspective, you probably want to be the type of person that's gone a little bit further than that. And I'll discuss as I go through the presentation today. I've been very fortunate over the last 20 years of my trading career, very diverse background, and I've been on both sides of both trading and education, consuming it, as well as now sort of producing it. And I find that ultimately, investors, traders, self-directed traders that have the most passion for just the intricacies of the way capitalism and our markets work are the ones that are going to most likely find the way using a framework to their own methodologies within the marketplace. So that means you're willing to do some work and you got a bit of a growth mindset, because this is what I believe. Trading is actually a skill. You might have heard that before. So like any skill, it takes time and effort to develop that. And everyone's skills levels is going to be a little bit different, and everyone's approach to the game of trading, if you will, is going to be a little bit different. But investing is a process. So often you'll hear about the difference between trading and investing. People say, well, it has to do with your timeline. Maybe. But really, investing is pretty simple, actually. Investing is simple and easy. If you're an investor, you should have a process associated with how you get into the investments that you make, and a bit of a plan around it. And then after that, it's just executing that process. Trading, however, is essentially a skill, and that's what we're going to talk about today. I'd like to give you a couple very simple things that you can do to begin potentially towards the path of improving your skill as a trader, because this is what I know, that books, videos, podcasts, seminars, online courses, coaching, and yes, everything I'm going to present today, it's virtually worthless, because none of it's really going to work unless you do, okay? So the first thing I'd like to just ask, and I probably won't have the opportunity to see if there's, I can't really, let me see if I can break, I'll do it later. Do you have a trading strategy? So maybe you can, by show of hands, you can let me know if you have a trading strategy, and I'm going to try to figure out, yes, okay, we got yes. And for me, if you want to know a definition of a trading strategy, it simply means a rules-based, systematic, repeatable approach to understanding where, why, and how to enter markets, okay? It doesn't matter if it's options or crypto or Forex or stocks or whatever. Those are all tactics, but trading strategy would be a series of criteria that allows you to enter a market, and rules associated with that. And by the way, trading strategies don't necessarily have to include, in my opinion, they don't have to include your risk management, your sizing, all of those things. If you have a completely automated trading strategy, you do. So sounds like many of you have a strategy, okay? Well, that's great, which is a super good start. And I would suspect that based on just everything I've seen out is that put a T if it's technical, put a F if it's fundamental, and put a, I don't know, put a B if it's both. Most are probably going to be technical traders, right? We're looking at charts and we're making our decisions. Okay, so most everyone's saying they're technical trader. Okay, well, here's how my strategies looked like for a very long time. Okay, I started trading in 1994. I'm gonna date myself a little bit, as a wheeled lad at Merrill Lynch. So, and I was pretty darn successful on the syndicate desk trading. Back then, we were actually able to trade some of the syndicates and IPOs that we were involved in. But I've been trading a long time. And I would say for the first 15 years of my trading career, a lot of my charts look something like that. So really, my search was a search to get systematized, because I had charts that look like this. I had charts that look like this. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with any of this if it's meaningful to you, and if somehow you're able to actually see price and absorb a lot of data at the same time. But for me, for over a decade, I struggled with just about every form of technical trading strategy that I was taught or came in contact with that involved lots of moving averages, lots of indicators, a decent amount of confirmation before I entered the market. It was just too much. So what I moved to after that was I moved to pure price action trading. Put a Y in the chat there if you consider yourself pure price action, meaning maybe a really clean chart and you just trade pure price action. You don't really need many indicators. Maybe you can just sort of visually, okay, well that's great, because for me, pure price action was the beginning of a start towards something where I didn't have to rely on all these crazy indicators and all these things. But here's what started to happen to me with pure price action. It was too mentally draining on me, right? My eyeballs began to look like that. I couldn't find my way when I would bring up a chart, and I was just constantly drawing occasionally a trend line or a few things, but no real indicators. And I just began to find that I needed something that actually did more of the work for me, because the most heard words in trading really, fear, greed, patience, discipline, indecision. What I needed was something that was simple, repeatable, and measurable, and all I had to do was actually wait for a signal. And even before I automated a lot of this and provided signals for myself, and obviously, of course, this is nothing new, vector vest, all these kinds of things say buy here, sell there, those types of things. But when you combine that with a real internalization of your knowledge of why the computer is telling you to do certain things, then trading actually does become simple. Not necessarily easy, but simple. If you have fear, just wait for a signal, okay? If you have greed, wait for a signal. If you're impatient, you have to wait for a signal. If there's any sort of discipline or indecision, because once you measure a trading strategy with some very, very simple forms of automation, a signal telling you when that condition exists, you really have the beginning of something actually pretty powerful. Okay, before I go much further, I just wanted to do the really, really quick sort of social proof or whatever, because probably none of you have ever heard of me. I don't really do much in terms of a whole lot of marketing of what I do. We work a lot with select clients and things like this, but I've been trading a long time, as I said, and one of the things that I've done since I got back into helping other traders is go out there and try to do as much validation as I could. So in the futures trading world, there's things called prop trading programs. Put a Y in there if you've ever heard of prop programs or proprietary trading programs. I don't know if you're familiar with them. In the futures markets, they're a lot easier because there's no regulation or anything required. So there's firms like Top Step and One Up Trader and things like this. So I've gone through and used the exact very simple things I'm going to show you today to qualify for a lot of different funding. And then you can see over there on Tradovate is another futures broker. Again, I trade all instrument classes. In fact, I'm trading more crypto Bitcoin these days than I have in quite a while, both in the futures and on the cash market. But there you can see that I don't even know what trade like a pro means, but Tradovate said that they felt like I was. And I went back to October of 2017 when I opened up the account. I'm not super proud of this. Trading 5,000 contracts is not necessarily something to be super proud of. I mean, that's a lot of trading, but I do trade. I trade pretty decent size, and I trade very actively, and I'm in the markets, and I'm using exactly what we'll be talking about today. And by the way, this is all live trading. This qualification over here is a demo account that you use to qualify. This is from my trade journal. I won't spend too much time here, but obviously it's an equity curve that looks nice. And then finally, this is what, in my opinion, real trading looks like. You have winning days, you have losing days. You want to be tracking everything you're doing. This is a product called TradorView. That's Trader VUE. If you are someone who is serious about trading and want to make it a larger percentage of your income and have the time to invest in that, I would highly suggest you find some form of a trade journal that does both qualitative and quantitative analysis for you. So that's just a little bit about the beginning of this year. Okay, I want to just give one real quick example of just a trade from the past, and then we're going to get into the charts here together. So does anyone know what June 23, 2016, what happened on that date? Let's see if I can, oh, there we go. I broke out the questions. I'll answer those questions at the very end. The name of the trading journal is TradorView, V-U-E at the end, not to be confused with TradingView, which I'm actually going to be showing. Brexit, there you go. Gavin nailed Brexit. Okay, so I'm pretty sure most of you, if you've been following the markets, were aware of what happened on Brexit. Brexit was much like the presidential U.S. election later that year, where there was an unexpected outcome that occurred and markets went actually crazy because of it, right? And I remember the night super well because the time we were getting ready to go out to some sort of special dinner. I can't remember exactly what the dinner was at the time. And I, like everyone else, thought that the event would be somewhat of a snore. It was expected that it would not pass and that the pound would probably remain strong. But I got an extreme turn sell signal, and I'll explain to you what that is in just a little bit. We'll go through what that signal is. And because I have traded it for so long and just trusted it, I just put it in, put a stop slightly above price based on risk management. We won't get into any kind of risk management or sizing or anything today. That's not really important. In my opinion, the 95% of the battle is coming up with just reasons for entry at the right time. You can size and handle risk management later. Risk management is going to be the largest contributor to you honing your skills and staying in the game, and then sizing is going to be the largest contributor to your next level growth. But everything really starts with a signal. Anyhow, put that on there. And at the time, I have since had much larger futures trades, but at the time that was my largest single futures trade for 4 contracts. I came back from a sushi dinner and the account was literally up, as you can see, about $15,000 there, and the pound continued to fall even further. And all of that was just because of the signal. I didn't have to care at all about what was happening. Obviously, I knew there was an event. I didn't have to worry about filtering out or not trading around events because the signals are the signals, and I have been using these things for over 20 years now, to the point where I can take signals through earnings. I can take signals through any kind of macro market event. It doesn't matter. The technicals behind the signals, when I say work, they have the probabilities that they have in all market conditions and all accounts. So anyway, that was pretty cool. Just an example of a night where a signal occurred. I didn't have to think about it, and trade worked out pretty nicely. Okay, so let's talk about the framework for this formula. I call it the framework formula, and here's the ingredients. This is really, really simple. I like the fact that most of you in here said that you are predominantly using technical indicators. So for those of you that do that, this should be dead simple. Okay, so the first thing is we want 1 part trend line, okay? The most debated and often difficult thing for so many traders is to identify trend, and I'm not exactly sure why. So after millions and millions of lines of codes and backtesting and working with 2 of what I believe to be some of the sharpest traders you'll probably never heard of. One of them is a really good friend of mine, multi-million-dollar trader, doesn't provide any courses or classes or do anything out in the marketplace. But a lot of what I owe my success to is the millions of backtests we did to come up with this. So anyhow, again, nothing here is super special. It's just a Fibonacci sequence number. It's a 233 EMA. Okay, so a 233 EMA, exponential moving average, is what I use as a trend filter on every time frame. How cool is that? You want a daily, put your 233 on there. You want an hourly, put your 233 on there. You want to trade a 5-minute chart, which I don't particularly do, 233. That's your trend. You buy above it, you sell below it. That's your trend line. Okay. Now I can tell you that I have ultimate faith and belief in this particular trend filter, but ultimately that's where the work comes in, because what works so well is when you develop the belief by applying anything. And again, you don't take my word for it. We'll take a look at some examples. But the 233 is the trend line. Okay. The next is we're going to put 1 part RSI, 3 period, 88 upper, 12 lower. Okay, and I'll show you this in just a second. Maybe not the RSI because I have that all programmed in, but just again, go through it. First is 1 part trend line, 233 MA, and then we want an RSI with a 3 period and 88 upper lower. And that is it. Okay, I have a lot of volume profile and other things. We'll take a look at a few of those. So let's just go to the charts right now. Okay, I'm going to come over here to a QQQ chart. Market is open, which is nice. All right, and here is just pure price action. Right, we're on a 1-hour chart of the QQQ. All right, I'm sure all of you are following the markets. Markets are in a nice uptrend, certainly since the election, and you can probably just visually look at this chart and pick some levels down here. This looks pretty nice, right? But this pullback here, was this pullback to be buyable? Yeah, maybe it filled the gap right in here, right? So you can trade pure price action without looking at anything here. The challenge for me is that, again, I'd have to come in here and look at this if I didn't do anything. So the first thing I want to do is just apply a 233 EMA. Okay, there's a 233 EMA. So on this 1 hour chart on the QQQs on a 233 EMA, am I supposed to be a buyer or seller? Only buying, right? There's no way I would want to short this market using this particular strategy, which is just using the T line as a filter, okay? This is actually a strategy. You can put a 233 EMA on there, okay, and buy the touch of the 233 EMA. There's on a 1 hour, okay? I'm not making this up. We can go to any symbol or anything like this. So what I have is an automated signal and alert on TradingView. I also have it on TradeStation and NinjaTrader. Today we're only going to talk about TradingView. By the way, this is TradingView. Give me a Y if you're familiar with TradingView, or an N if you're not. I just want to know how many people know about TradingView. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Okay. I'm going to make a big, bold statement, okay? You have to have a TradingView account, okay? You must go get a TradingView account if you don't have one. When this thing is over, go to tradingview.com. Better yet, wait till the very end. If you end up getting involved in what I do for a ridiculously compelling way, I'll guide you towards everything you need to know about TradingView. But TradingView for charting and analysis, web-based for all the instruments and classes. Now look, there's nothing wrong if you use whatever the heck you use, right? A lot of people like to have their charting be the same thing that they do their order execution on, and I get it. But for charting and analysis, you want to be familiar with TradingView, okay? So this is TradingView right here. I applied a 233 EMA. This is our T line. You can apply it to anything that you want. Okay, so on this chart with this time frame, and I'm not cherry picking, I just started on the Qs here. Here's your buy right here, and obviously it worked great. Okay, if you want to look at shorts, not really something I'd want to short, but whoa, there you go, another one, another one, another one. So imagine if all you had was something that you picked your time frame. I'm on a 1 hour. Maybe you don't want to do a 1 hour. Maybe you want to do a 4 hour. Maybe you want to do a 15-minute or whatever. And you're alerted every time your QQQs go down to your T line, and you just buy the 50 delta option, or you buy 100 shares of QQQ, or you do whatever you want to express that particular trade. All right. So there you go. Break above, close above. This is not a signal for me because I don't use any buy stops. I'm long here, I'm long here, I'm long here, and I get stopped out. Okay, we got to point out the losers. I'm long here, and that's the last signal that we had, which is back on the 11th. You want to go to a 4 hour, watch what happens with the 4 hour. Last signal we had with the 4 hour was back on April 21st. Since then, we got close, but we did not get any buy signals down here. Okay, and that's on the QQQ. And here's the SPY. Okay, how good is that? Right there, 327.55s. You took a teeny amount of heat, and I'm on a 4 hour right now. Okay, and I know this is dead ass simple. It is, everybody. It's dead ass simple. Find a time frame. Take my word for it and try a 233, not a 200 or 150 SMA or 155 or 55. Try a 233. Let's look at it on a 30-minute. Okay, on a 30-minute, on the SPY, we have no signals of with trend pullbacks to that area right there. All right, so we're just starting with the 233 EMA. Go to anything you want. Okay, this one's not quite as clean. Break above, close above, comes back. Here's your first long on a 30-minute on Apple. I don't know, 115 to $5. If you can't make money on $5, you might want to give up. Okay, here's another little bounce. Here's your first stop out. This is a loss, okay, for sure. This is unbelievable. Let me widen this up a little bit. Break above, close above, come back down, touch the T line to the damn tick. 116.88 to the tick. Why don't we go to the right here? 120.42 to the tick. Okay, hopefully, you want to throw out a symbol. Does anyone want me to look at a symbol? And again, we can go to any time frame. You want to go to a 4 hour? Go to a 4 hour. No signal on a 4 hour. If you're a 4 hour trend trader with Apple, you haven't had. Let's go to Amazon. Okay, I don't trade Amazon, but we'll go to Amazon. There you go. You go back here. Okay, so your first buy using the framework of a 233 EMA and a 4 hour is your long Amazon from 29.72.80. Here's what's also good about this. This is built-in patience. Like if you can't be patient and have no signal in Amazon on a 4 hour for the entire year until you get to here, then don't trade Amazon on a 4 hour. Go to a lower time frame, do something else. Okay, here's the other thing. Why in the world would anyone short this? Don't try to pick tops, everybody. And by the way, I'm as guilty as, like, I was very, very short the Qs into so much heat this year, and I keep getting rewarded because we do get some big pullbacks. So I'm just saying, though, to keeping things simple and starting. So there it is at Amazon. Yeah, so member, whatever. So today, for today's presentation, I'm only going to talk about entry logic, not necessarily, because there's so many ways to express a trade. So not about sizing, not about risk management, not about stops, not about anything like that. I will tell you for myself personally, when I do an options trade, you'll never see me do an iron condor or butterfly or anything like that. Nothing wrong with that. I've been trading options for 25 years. Unlike the guy on the jet who's just been indicted by the by the FTC, if you know who I'm talking about. I'm the biggest on. Anyway, unlike that guy, I actually do trade a lot of options, and I keep my stuff super simple. I'm usually 50 delta. I risk about 35% to 50% of the premium paid, and I'm looking for basically about the same. So to answer your question, the the challenge when you're an options trader and you're using a signal entry is that options are multidimensional, right? So anyway, the bottom line is for today's presentation, I can't get into all of that, but if you join the Traders Dev group, we'll be sure to tell you how we manage size, risk, targets, all those good things. Today, we're just talking about entries, and there's a 4 hour entry long on Amazon right at that level. Okay, so this is a 233 EMA. You can apply it on any chart. All right, you can apply it on any chart. All right, so that's the first piece. Let's go to gold, and then we'll just be done with this. I think you'll get the example. Okay, so here on gold, there's a potentially little win. This is definitely a stop out. And now you actually can look to short gold on the bottom of the T line. I won't give any short examples. Obviously, short is the exact opposite. If price is below the T line and comes up to the T line, then you look to get short at the T line. Okay, so that's the first. Now the next that we want to apply is a RSI. Let me see if I can just do this in real time. Here on TradingView, you go to indicators. You're going to go to built-ins. You're going to type in relative strength. Obviously, many of you have probably seen plenty of stuff on relative strength. Okay, this comes up. It's pretty darn ugly. Okay, I want to go to the settings. I'll keep it purple. I don't care. But the inputs, I'm going to go with a 3 RSI. Okay. And where do I set these things? I should probably have known that. Here we go, 88 and 12. Okay, I have all this programmed, so I don't do this very often. Okay, so there's 88 and 12. Okie dokie. So I won't have time today to go through all of this. I'm sure some of you have seen some things on RSI. I'm often surprised at how often people will look at it and then think it's too simple, and then just move away from it without really investing the time to watch market tendencies of when the RSI actually can help you out. So anyhow, the way to interpret this, gang, is whenever you're above 88 on the 3 RSI, the market is quote unquote overbought, and you could potentially look for a pullback. I don't want to be shorting anything, though. All I'm interested in is the ability to, since if I'm on a 4 hour on the QQQs and I have no signal on this whole chart, right? Because I will never have gotten a notification all the way since maybe back in April. I will never have a long signal here on on the QQQs because it never hit the 233 EMA. However, I can have all kinds of signals that would occur on when the RSI 3 got below 12. Okay, so right here I'd be notified, right here I'd be notified, right here I'd be notified, and then you can just see what was the movement. Did we then find a short-term bottom and move higher? And you'll find that very often the time is. And you can experiment with others. 5 period, 7 period, I experiment with a number of others. Let me just hide this for a moment and show you what I actually use, which is the extreme turn right here, okay? This is gonna get a little sloppy, okay? It's gonna get a little sloppy, but all I'm doing right here now is letting the computer actually tell me when those particular conditions exist. And for here, I'm doing both longs and shorts, right? And I'm not cherry picking anything. So obviously this is a really nice short here, right? I'm not a huge fan of shorting against trend, but on a 4-hour here, this picked a beautiful stop target. And you could go to when you got an extreme term buy here. The ultimate thing that I'm looking for and what I've trained the computer to look for is I want to look for extreme turn buy signals at or near the T line, because that's like the mega, right? So I'm on a 4-hour right here. There it is, bam. This is the signal of all signals for what I do, okay? Market comes back down to my 233 EMA. I'm getting an extreme turn buy right here because the RSI is the condition that I'm looking for. And there's some other logic built into this too, the secret sauce, right? You get to understand it if you become a member of TDG, Total Dev, the Traders Dev Group. This is the ultimate buy signal, okay? And I can hunt around all I want, but what's better is just to have software running in the backward that's screening this against thousands of symbols, right? Okay, now I don't actually offer a screener like that. I don't recommend it because here's why. You're also probably going to be better served by becoming a specialist in just a couple different names. It is hard enough to hone the skill of trading, let alone, and look, I don't want to be disparaging about any other approach. It can all kind of work. But this concept of watch lists that I see in so many rooms every day where you're watching different stocks every single day because they're moving and things. The Qs and the SPYs and the IWM and the futures move every single day, all the time. Bank of America and Apple and Tesla and pick 10 or 20 or other stocks, they move all the time. So you can sort of become a specialist. So I'm not actually screening thousands of stocks. I'm just looking for signals that can occur in a couple different markets. So there it is on the SPY. Now, someone asked for, yeah, can you apply a 233 on a daily? Let's look at, I'm going to, whoops, sorry, I hope that didn't come up. I don't think I have a whole lot of time left. I mean, Anna, if you're listening to me, what's my time slot? Do I get to go till 9:30?
You have 12 minutes left.
I have 12 minutes left, okay. Time flies when you're having fun. All right, let me show you this really quickly. I'm gonna come in here and come over here to profile. I'm gonna open this up over here and hopefully that will work. Let me see. Got a little bit of delay. Okay, so after you go get your TradingView account, you want to go over and here's an account. This is all free, by the way. You're gonna search for TDG on TView, which is me and our group. That's TDG on TView. Okay, you're gonna search for that. And then just go ahead and hit the follow button right there. Totally free, because we publish an idea about once a week. And the question was, does this 233 work on a daily? I wanted to show, oh, actually, I don't think it was a 233 signal. It was an extreme turn, sorry. So we'll look at the 233 on a daily in just a second. But this is an example I wanted to bring up because it was an idea that we highlighted, and I kept on here the actual trade that we did, which is September 340, 332. So this is an extreme turn sell, and it was on a daily, and it was the first one that we got in the entire move from the COVID lows, okay? So stayed out of, there was no signals to get short this entire move. Okay, this is a 233 EMA here, so there's, you know, this worked as some resistance here. Here's where you can buy, but anyway, this was a 340, 332, and I won't play this down, but the market fell directly from here. And this 113 put blew all the way through 332. We took it off for about $7.25. almost about a 700% return. Now this is on a daily, and that's how long it took. Now there are ideas using exactly the same thing that we're talking about here all throughout here. By the way, check out gold. This is gold on a daily. This is the perfect thing that we look for. A pullback to the T line. This is a 233 EMA on a daily. Okay, right back to gold. And if you don't follow the gold markets, this was 1780s. It was just back right around Thanksgiving, the early part of after Thanksgiving. Gold market rallied $88 in a straight line from here. Okay, it's since come in. Look at this, $88 in a straight line. Okay, we had GLD, we had MGC, we had GC, and what I would like to point out is this was the first signal that we had with trend buy signal in months and months and months and months. Months and months and months. Right there, perfect buy signal. 233 EMA, RSI overbought, and an ADX setting that we look for as well. TDG on TradingView, and you can go over there and find out all about that. So actually, let's look at a daily. Apple's always one that people love. I'm going to delete this so we get that out of the way. All right, so there's a daily on Apple. The last time that you had a break above right here, April 6th was your buy at 62.29. Okay, and you can damn well know that I will be buying Apple at 97.71 if and when we get back down there. That'd be gap fill and everything. Okay, some people like an 8-hour as well. So anyway, you can use the 233 on any time period. And if it hadn't been millions and millions of back tests across all kinds of filters and everything else, I wouldn't confidently be able to say what kind of makes my skin crawl some other times, where I hear things like this works on every market and every time frame and every this, that. There's not a lot of things that work that way, but I've built the confidence for myself in something like this. Okay, so the takeaways from today was 233 is your trend filter, and we've only looked at long examples because the market has predominantly been very constructive to the long side. That can change at any time. You can go back and look at the March and April period, and certainly the February fall off, and find plenty of examples on 4 hours and 2 hours and 30-minute time frames where the T line got you done really well. Like as an example here, if we go over to natural gas, let me just go over to natural gas just as an example. I don't know if I have the continual contract on here. Here it is. Okay, this is an 8-hour natural gas. Okay, 233 EMA. Pick any point you want. Let's come over here. Look at this extreme turn buy. It's almost at the T line. Nice upward sloping T line. Extreme turn buy gets you done. Beautiful right there. You buy it right here. There's no extreme turn buy, and you know. Again, I know many of you, well, how do you manage your risk and where does it go? I'm just talking about signals and entries. There's a long there. Now you get a break below, close below. Now this is a short. Bam, comes back up. Now, by the way, I'm talking about to the tick. We put envelopes around this as well. There's a short right there. So here's an example of natural gas, which I knew was one market that actually had declined. I'm almost out of time. Yes, okay, so here's how you get. All right, all right, let's do this. Traders Dev Group, our mission is just want to be accountable, transparent, and work with people that are potentially committed to the craft of honing their skills, okay? So what TDG Total Access is, and the only thing that we offer anymore, I have all kinds of stuff, but we just simplified it down to something that we call TDG Total Access. So it's just a bundle of services, education, materials, custom indicators to provide a framework for you to find turning points, momentum areas, and trends, all with precision and no guesswork, okay? So here is what it actually is. It's what we call just sort of a mega membership, all right? So what it is it's we have a trading room. Not everyone can be in a trading room, and honestly, you come into our trading room, there's a decent amount of work you need to do to make any sense of it, okay? So it's included in the mega membership, but I wanna be very, very clear, it's a professional trading room, All right, so if you're a beginner, there's no problem. If you spend first the time to go through all the courses and everything you get access to for part of this, you'll be okay to get in there. But it's going to be like coming into the middle of a movie, because you can probably already tell from me, I talk a lot, I talk pretty fast, and there are, I will on a daily basis generally trade somewhere around 1,000 contracts, which is way more than anyone could be able to follow, and I'm trading 20 different markets. So the feedback I do get from a lot of people is it's just too much and overwhelming. So I want to be clear about that. It's a professional trading room, but I make the access so accessible that it's just one component of it. Sorry, we're doing work on the house, and now these guys are crawling around in our attic. So anyway, TTG Total Access includes the Pro Trading Room, all kinds of powerful ideas that you get on our private Discord channel, learning and courses. We have 3 different courses, including Futures on Fire Foundation course, which I used to charge like $497 for. That's absolutely included as well. You get the trading strategies, the templates, the workspaces, everything we talked about. You get the custom hybrid indicators and signals for TradingView that we talked about. So if you want to have this signal appear on your chart, that's all included as well. And where else? I lost my, I'm over here. There we go. We have weekly technical analysis trading. We have all those TDG TradingView things in action. A lot of all other performance boosters and things like that. It's going to be $97 a month. The Traders Expo thing today is $49 for your first month. You can cancel at any time before it renews. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I don't know. I always laugh because my mentors, anyway, until a couple years ago, the 3 of us used to work individually with traders for $25,000, and now almost all of this is being presented on a monthly basis. Consume it as you'd like for this this kind of fee. It's cool because I love helping people out, and I think if you take a look at this, it could very well help you out as well. We have a bunch of clients and things you can check out on this page as well. So this actual page is, I'll drop it in here. It's tradersdevgroup.com/expo. How do I type it in there? I think I put it right here. How many trades, days a week? It's overwhelming. So I just want to be honest. So the way to work best with Traders Dev Group is to come in on this very low introductory offer, start to go through the courses, pop in the trade room, see if any of it resonates with you. Because again, I want to be a straight shooter here. A lot of what we do will overwhelm beginners. Okay, but for $49 to get an access to what's going on in here, it could be pretty powerful. And again, what I shared with you is just sort of the tip of the iceberg. There's plenty of other little tips and tricks that we have about other little tweaks that you can do to these filters. If nothing else, you can come in and watch us trade the extreme turn and the T-line and just see if you can apply that to your own trading. Does it work for scalping? It works for anything, but I'm not a scalper, so you won't see us do much scalping. Can I please drop the link there? I think I dropped it in the chat. That's to organizers and panelists. Okay, where do I put it in send to all? Anna, can you help me out? How do I get that link to?
Sure. I'll do this for you.
Okay, thank you.
Done.
Awesome, cool. Well, my time is about up. I really appreciate it, everybody. TradersDevGroup.com. Also, you can go over. My name is Rod, and Rod at Traders Dev Group as well is. I don't mind fielding emails directly from anyone. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Have a super rest of your trading day. TradingView, 233 EMA, RSI, 3-period, 88 and 12. Apply that to some time frames, see what it does for you. See if you start to see any visual price patterns or things that emerge that could help you out. If you'd like to see it all in action, we'd love to see you as a member of the Traders Dev Group.